Welcome viewers, and welcome back to the Dragster Shop and Transmission YouTube channel. Just doing a little video on my front engine dragster. It's winter time now, so it's time to make some changes. As you can see here, I've mostly disassembled the engine. Had a little bit of a mishap at the track last time out. Stood the let me turn my light on here. Stood the car up, and it got up on the wheelie bars, and kind of came down a little too hard, and I don't know if you can see it cracked the axle. So I'm going to make some changes to the frame rails on the car, and left my inline water pump drive on there because I'm going to eliminate that in the bracket. I'm going to go to a regular electric water pump up here, and on the front of the block. That thing is noisy. It's very old too. It's probably 70s model. I don't know. And then my electric fuel pump, I got to make a better mount for that, because when I originally built the chassis, I had an aluminum fuel tank up here for weight on the front axle, and then I had the electric fuel pump mounted there. I've since changed it to here, so I need to do a better mounting setup there. Something I'd like better. And I did the chassis about 6 years ago. Not quite 6 years ago. But with other jobs coming in and out of the shop, and I was also working a full-time job as well at the time. The car just didn't get finished, or the chassis was complete. It was a rolling chassis, but it wasn't until almost a year later that I actually got to finish it and take it to the track for the first time. So it's time to do some freshen up on the engine, transmission this winter. Like I say, I'm going to redo the frame rails, do some painting. I know a lot of guys like the powder coat, but well, whatever. That's fine. I've been wanting to change the color of this chassis for a couple years now, and now I have the opportunity to do it, I reckon. So 5 years ago, I built this engine. It's a 350 small block standard bore. It's out of a mid-90s Tahoe, I think is what it was out of. Right there, if you don't believe me. There it is. Run the numbers yourself. It's a 2-bolt main, standard bore, stock crank. At our local track, it's kind of hard for me to get this car down the track without spinning. I do run a small tire. It's a 29.5, 10.5. As you can see, my tires are old. I need to get new tires for it this winter too. So anyway, I run a 9-inch Ford rear end, 33 spline strange axles, full spool. I think I got a 456 gear in there. Like I said, it was 6 years ago, so yes, it is a 456. I thought it was a 430, but it's a 456. So, okay, so back to our local track. It's a decent place, don't get me wrong. It's a little bumpy, so it's pretty easy to lose traction in a car like this because you have no suspension. But yeah, it works good. But I generally have to back the timing off, and to the point it's almost laboring a little bit to get down the track. So anyway, normally I'll run a 580 in the 8th mile. It runs 580 at 118 miles an hour, 119, somewhere in there. I always tell people I run pump gas, 93 octane pump gas through this engine. Now, I've got I run a YN 177 supercharger. with a carburetor that I flowed. It was originally an 850. There's the heads. Gonna rework those this winter. And here's the stock rods, powdered metal rods that would have come out in the 90s, out of a 90s block, and a standard bore. Let me see if I can zoom in there. Right there, standard bore cast replacement piston. Pretty much just balanced everything. Had comp cams, grind me a cam for this setup, and just a little hydraulic roller, 530 lift, on a 114 lobe separation. Ran a power glide, and as you can tell, this is the long coupler. Here's the short coupler. Yeah. I done this because when I went with the long coupler, because with the short coupler, it would have put the engine too far back. It would have put the engine farther back here and made the car really violent off the starting line. So what we do on these things is we move them forward, and that calms the car down when you launch it. So I was gonna go with a full regular length power glide, and but I just didn't. Where the location is now, it works well. So anyway, yeah, back to the little 350 here. Yeah, I was getting a little bit of grief about how quick the car runs and what I claim the engine is. Well, like I said, it's a stock block 2-bolt main. Turn the light back on here. Stock oil pan. And right there. Hope you can see that. 2-bolt main. Little windage tray studs there. Standard board. It didn't need to be bored, so this engine didn't have a lot of miles on it when I got it. So I was just able to completely disassemble it, put the bore gauge in there. Wasn't worth boring. It was worth boring, but I just didn't need it. So I showed you the stock rods, stock crank, 2-bolt main, stock block, replacement cast pistons, heavy, but all balanced. So yeah, at this local track it ran a best of a 575, and what happened was I knew, because we had a lot of cars there that day, I knew that the track was going to be better, so I put a little more timing in it and a little more fuel, and right off the trailer it went a 575. However, on my second pass, I need to get a GoPro or something to mount on the car. On the second pass, I put another 2 degrees of timing in, 1 or 2 degrees of timing in it, and stood it up. It got up on the wheelie bars, had daylight underneath the tires, and it came back down pretty harsh. I just wasn't expecting it. I tried to ride it out, but it just didn't work. So it came down and busted up my axle. You can see I got some, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I got some severe tilt in the front wheels. So I'm going to make a new axle for it this winter, and I'm going to change a few things in the front end, front frame rails and everything. Now, normally at a track that's a little smoother, I was getting some 550s out of it, mid to high 550s in the 8th mile at 119, 120, 121, I think, mile an hour. But I was getting a little grief about, the engine's not what I said it was and all this stuff. And I figured, well, since I tore it down, let me show you. I run it on 93 pump gas, no no additives. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say, but there it is. So I'm going to use this block because I'm going to be changing the front frame rail some. So I'm just going to use this block as a mock-up block. Just going to leave it on there for now and just change a few things. I may make the car a little bit longer. I don't know yet. It's at 145-inch wheelbase now. So I like that wheelbase. It's good. It's steady. It's stable. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to end this video here. If you want to see some more of this stuff, this type of content, you like it, hey, click that subscribe button to my channel, and hit that little notification bell so that you'll get notified when I post other videos. And all right, well, leave a comment below and share the video. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.